So I wanna share or speak my story with Osho. So like before I actually only got one book of Osho, and before I got this book, I have read the stuff, or only a few things of Ken Wilber and something, and was only from the Zen perspective aware what would be enlightenment or samadhi, this energetic experience, like mystical experience and so on. And a friend like walked the Zen part, and yeah, I was like was more like alone in my flat, like walking the eremite part to withdraw myself from society and something. And then the friend that walked the Zen part like gifted me a book. And interesting what comes up here is that I already there admired this friend, and like put him above me because he's walking the Zen part and like searching for enlightenment, and he has like a master figure that leads him the way or something, or that has apparently more knowledge and information, or is advanced in this spiritual search or path. From the perspective that Zen, I saw it also like something that is pretty much the real thing, because it's to bring oneself here in the moment, be here and nothing more and nothing less, from the perspective. Now, yeah, and the book that I got from the person was a book of Osho, the only book of Osho that I've ever read, like like very interesting. And there I looked at, like, there was a picture in the envelope of Osho, and then I would look at him and the big beard and like the beautiful face, like really beautiful man, like that's what I would connect to, like enlightened person, because this was also the thing that my connection was the Buddha that was also a point, like the Buddha is God is manifested as a Buddha, as Jesus, as this, all the special beings, persons. And now I was like convinced that now in this moment not such a being is on this planet, and that they are special beings. And like looking at the Osho pic, this was like, okay, fuck, this is a man that looks like I imagined a manifested godliness, basically manifested godliness and manifested master. And I started on to read the book, and yeah, the points that he shares, or the stuff that he shares, makes big sense and is cool. Like there are lots of reflections of the moon, but there is only one moon. Like lots of religions and only one through God, and like, I mean, that was common sense stuff that that rings simply true. And also this point of I mean, this was it basically. And also around this book was the point that the owner before that had this book also had my name, so I made there a connection, like, oh, this must be something special. I get the book from another Andy, and he's like going into the mountains, a mountain climber or something, and it was like basically interesting that I put everybody above me, and now this is special. I get this book from this person, and this is a big coincidence and something. And I started then reading the book. I was like there was one sentence then that really like kicked in the point of, okay, this is a real master or something. There is something extreme special, because I had like experience. I read the sentence like how this point of searching for enlightenment or realizing that one is already here was like you have to be in a state like a bow, and forever waiting, completely attentive, but basically willing to wait forever, like be here in attention. But I mean, in this sentence there clicked something, and I experienced, okay, fuck, this is it. And so there I formed the idea also that here this man is always here, or I could not, like, I simply made a connection between Osho, the master, and me as reading the words and like disciple. And so this book then dragged me like through. I mean, I read then I only read this book of him, and I read it like 3 times or something. And I mean, interesting that I mostly used then as information and knowledge pieces, like to drag me through my day, and also to further like separate me, to walk this path of an eremit, like, okay, society is fucked, and it's fucked, and there is this point to get to, there is this enlightenment point. I have to be forever attentive, like a bow, but willingly to wait forever, basically. And this is great shit, I see now. And I said I then used this like little small sentences or pieces of information and knowledge, wisdom, to to cope with my days and to maintain my separation. I mean, other beings will use this information and knowledge, like for example, to communicate about it. And yeah, me not. I mean, this also was supporting the whole idea that I had with this friend, that we are like walking in the desert of the society. And I mean, it is this way, like the world is like the valley of the shadow of death. And yeah, but it's no like solution. So further on the point that I use this then as basically as a point of making me self-superior than everybody else with this knowledge and information pieces. And it was only one book, like Transformation, an Alchemy of Transformation. And yeah, then I basically put this book aside and started a relationship, fucked it up, or we fucked it up, and like complete addiction, possession phase of my life. And after that, actually when I started then sometimes meditating, and there I orientated myself also with and on this book. And also then later I watched Osho clips, like, and I was like fascinated by his movement, his move, and gentle movements and stuff like that. And also, I mean, the presentation, obviously. It's funny. And yeah, and what was fascinating for me was the point of that he always like could speak on a topic without preparation, complete, from my perspective, complete sensical going, or yeah, taking the situation and the question on, and answer it. Like, it's always interesting because this is the point of the whole master disciple relationship in all the religious parts. Like, the master is your responsibility, or the master is able to respond to your questions. I mean, and here is the whole point of the deception, because that's not truth. I mean, and this should have realized every master, or being that claims himself to be a master, should have realized this, that if he really that either way he does not like accept the disciple as equal. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, Osho, for example, said this also, that he does this because he knows that it's hard for him to get away from this, because the disciples love him so much. And yeah, I mean, the master point is like the answering point, the point of giving away self-responsibility, the ability to answer yourself. And yeah, from this there is a connection created. I mean, I had done like the relationship created. I had done like the points of in meditation experiences where I like felt, oh, okay, now this is connection with Osho, and this is this state that he described, or now I experience that he's like present or something. And this is interesting because I have this recently basically it becomes more and more clear that these points are only existent within my mind. I have this then with other beings also, where I create then this point of reference or answering is only existent within my mind. It's like a concoction of what I believe or think and believe that Osho is and might be or have been or would now say in this moment. And I have realized that I do this with lots of beings that I like see as examples, as masters. So this is the whole God construct, basically, to put something above me. And now this book then it's interesting. I took this book out again I guess 2 years or something, for 2 years or something. And it's interesting. You can really have like a relationship with this book. It has with a book, with some scriptures. It's basically nothing different than a fucking Bible or something. You can make this out of a book. Like, oh, okay, I had, for example, this experience to like also on an altered state of mind and to read this book, and there was like the sentence, so you something about the way and of the walking, and then like this I perceived it like this sentences now spoke to me, or you can like I did it then in a way that I used this book to simply blind put up a page and read what is written there, and then this is like connected this then to my day or my situation, and like okay, related this to my situation and my point. So here it's obviously again my interpretation of what I read and the stuff that I see, then that is like determining the outcome also, like of my interpretation. And so it's like with the Bible, you can use the sentence in whatever way you want, and then create yourself a nice idea of reality out of it, which is not so. And this is then also the point of that I've not used this book anymore since sometimes this was basically also one of the first points that I then had come up with the writing of self-forgiveness. Yeah, okay, there was also then the thing with finding destiny, and then I mean, because Osho is already dead, like there I had this point that he's now connecting from the afterlife or shit like that, and yeah, so okay, this is like a point not further to go in. But then I had the experience of finding destiny, and then here reading Osho from the afterlife. Osho speaks. Osho what the fuck, and the first text I read was like Osho's changes in the heavens and the earth, and how the points change and how the existence changed, and the Gibbon's discussion. And I mean, this is interesting then to read like that. Osho says he was not, or from a perspective says that what he has done on earth was not self-honest, was not really real, was not the truth, was not considering all life equally, was not common sense basically in its expression, in the manifested realization that all is one and equal and life, and thus equally to be honored, or and I mean he said that it was not all self-honest, basically, that what he did on earth. And within this I can see that I have sometimes still the points come up like this is such a special being, and such grace, like and I mean basically this is vlog to also to it's not really true that I have this point come up. I said I have put other beings in there. So now I mean the points that Osho missed I cannot so much speak about, because I mean the point that he really missed is like the money system point, and that it's not like really, I mean you can say and you can see that the Osho commune, or all that was coming from this, was like a enclosed and separated universe, like with like a cool way to live. Can imagine, I don't know it, so it's not relevant for me, but it was a separated separated commune, and not like wanting to take on the world as a whole and the systems as a whole, but only the individual. And this is not really possible. It's not sustainable. I mean, the points, individuals cannot be free if, or nobody is free until all is free. And yeah, this point was like missed. And also, I mean, it focused on meditation and stuff, what is not actually the practical points that have to be corrected in this world, which is the money system as a major player, as the foundation point of our abusive systems that cause the whole world all to suffer. And I mean, we obviously participate in it, so it's not to say that the money or the money system, we are responsible, and we are responsible for the whole world, not only for our enlightenment bubble that is not real. And yeah, this point of enlightenment and wanting to be ascended or something will simply cease to exist if a safe environment, we will have all beings like enlightened, all masters of their own life, when we have a equal money system here. There is possible all that we have dreamed of, even in this spiritual parts that is not so that's it basically.